It's a really cool experience. It's hard to explain if you never did it.
Learning music with them and growing with them is the best part.
Interacting with the kids was such a memorable moment.
People could say you're just playing music, but it's so much more than that.
I had so much fun. It just made it so worth it. And then like every night since then, I was just super excited. Like the last performance, I feel like was kind of sad because it's like I want to keep doing this. Like it was a lot of fun.
The drive down was fun because I guess we hadn't been on a long trip before together. So I think it was fun to be able to travel with the band.
Playing fun songs and having the boys get up and dance and sing really loudly was definitely entertainment.
One of the highlights for the trip was definitely just getting to know the leader band better and hanging out with them. That was probably the second most fun thing after just performing.
When we first got there, when I first, was on the stage and I saw the equipment, it was definitely really nerve-wracking. I was like, oh, this is different, it's new. But going through the rehearsals and practicing really helped make us all feel comfortable.
I think rehearsal time was really good just so we could make sure we were locked in for the upcoming set that we had at night.
So we are here practicing. Me and Tori are on auxiliary percussion together. We're gonna have so much fun rocking it out.
Before the first set, I was nervous backstage, but then I prayed to open up.
Thank you that you brought us all here safely. Thank you that you held off the rain while we set up. Please be with everyone who's still traveling. Keep them safe on the road. We ask that you send your spirit with us this week and guide us to learn more about you. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Hello, Pathfinders!
I think after that, and I just got the kids standing up and stuff, the band was playing really loud. Kind of just all went away, and then I just wasn't nervous the rest of the week.
The first night that we were there and we were going up, I was definitely very nervous because I had never performed in front of that many people before.
Being on stage, first of all, is already nerve-wracking. So having the in the moment and on the spot cues made me even more nervous. But trust is a big thing in our band especially, and we just really had to trust towards me with everything that he was saying and telling us to do. And as long as we trusted him, everything went smoothly.
we were on stage playing, and we were getting information of what we were going to do next while we were playing. And so that was really confusing. We were playing and just like listening for something, and I think that was so spontaneous but yet so fun to be in that situation.
Well, when we were starting the first night, it was stressful because we were getting all the things, set up all the audio, and it was just a bit overwhelming at first. But the highlight moment was when we first started and just hearing all of the voices start singing. People had like flashlights waving, and being able to see that, it was an amazing experience where seeing all these people here together worshiping God, and it was just, that was amazing.
Alright, let's pray. Dear God, thank you for blessing us with that. We couldn't do this without you. We know that there's a lot of people that they step forward, so please bless their hearts. And God, thank you so much for blessing us and giving us this talent and sharing it to everyone out there. In His name, amen. Great job tonight.
I think that from a leading aspect, it was really impactful to be able to see, especially when we would like get into our sets and more people would start singing with us as we would go on. So it definitely felt like we were making an impression on them in the way that we were all worshiping together.
Favorite thing about leading worship is connecting the audience to get closer to God, because whenever I'm worshiping and I can feel God's presence there, it's something that's really special, and it's something that I want everyone to experience.
One of my favorite parts or highlight from the trip would definitely have to be being up front and being able to lead all the Pathfinders, and especially seeing them sing and show God's love, because them being so little, I didn't expect them to not only sing the songs we were playing up front, but also being so very into it.
I've grown up in Pathfinders, so, but this time was a little different because, I was actually up front and not really doing as much of the actual, like, Pathfinder things. But it was really cool because, you got to see a different side of Pathfinders, and it was cool to be able to interact with the kids and, kind of make them have that same experiences that I did.
The songwriting process for Nothing Is Impossible was really God influenced, and I could really tell that He was just there writing through us.
When you're writing in the studio, it's like you're removed from where that song's gonna impact people, right? So you write something and you release it and people listen to it, but you're not able to see that when you're writing it. But we wrote the song and then we went and performed it, and we got to see the impact it had on people. We saw people singing the song, and that was life-changing, of knowing that it's sometimes easy to feel like we're just in this little box writing songs, but no, this has real impact and it does go out into the world.
When we got here, told us the theme, and he was like, this is the Bible verse we're going to base it off of, which is Philippians 4:13, which says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So yeah, we just started writing. Aiden's really good with coming up with melodies really quick, so he just got on the piano and, I don't know, we just put something out there and we loved it. I loved it. And we just went with it, and the lyrics flowed easy and it was really catchy, and by the end of the day we had the song done and it was already stuck in my head.
The direction that we were heading with the song is this idea that there is no limits on what God can do through you. So when things seem like, I can't do that, there's no possible way that we can get through this, that God said that, yes, you can, because I'm with you, and anything is possible. So that's kind of where we took the song.
So on most afternoons we would go out and pass out pins and stickers to the campers, and it was really fun to just meet all sorts of different kinds of people that were coming to this huge event, and just be able to connect with the kids one-on-one instead of just seeing them from off of stage. We actually got to go and like talk and hang out with them, and I think that actually helped us a lot when we were performing, because we were able to make personal connections with the kids and not just, you know, see them on stage.
Jesus, you're my superhero, you're my star, and you're my best friend.
It was really cool to interact with the Pathfinders because it was cool that they recognized who you were and they were singing the theme song with you. And it was really fun to pass out stickers because they were just so excited to see you.
Every morning we went and ate breakfast with the Pathfinders, and one morning we actually taught them some camp songs, so that was fun.
Yeah, for each of our meals we hung out with the Calhoun Pathfinder Club, and it was just like having a bunch of little siblings. My little brother's in the Pathfinder Club, and all his friends act very similar to me, be asking me questions and stuff, trying to play with me and stuff like that, so it was cool.
So at the end of the week, the Calhoun Pathfinder Club, the kids that we had been eating with, had asked us to sign some of their shirts. And that was honestly kind of crazy. I didn't expect it, but it was really fun to see all the smiles on everyone's face.
It was cool hanging out with the Pathfinders, especially with the Calhoun Club. They thought we were like a big deal, and they were like, "Oh, can I get your autograph?" I was like, "I just play the box at a high school, so I felt like I was famous for a second."
Backstage was always fun, but that was when I was most nervous because, or right before we would go up. Because Mr. Dorsey would get us in a line and he would like make sure we were in the right order, and he'd be like, "You're going up at this time," and that was when it was like, "Oh, we're doing this now," and that's when you get kind of nervous, but it was fun. It was really fun before because we would just talk with the rest of the band and I don't know, make jokes.
One of the nights we were watching college football, and my dad is a very big Tennessee fan, and there was actually quite a bit of Tennessee fans watching the game. So right before we were performing, we were all just huddled around Ethan's phone just watching this game, and we were all like stressed out. And then they win right before we have to get on stage, and I feel like that was probably one of our best performances because we were in good spirits because of that.
I think now I appreciate more when the crowd is engaged. I think before the trip I prioritized more on okay, we're doing this for God, and that's about it. Now it's we're doing this for God, but we'd like everyone to be in the same page with us. And so once you hear everyone singing and praising God like that, I think that's the best type of worship.
Sabbath afternoon, we got a chance to do a Q&A with the Pathfinders, and I thought that was really fun because I think it gave us a more personal kind of interaction time with them because they could ask us questions. They were mostly kind of just about like what we did in Magnify, like what each of us played and like our experiences, so there wasn't like, I don't know, we weren't having like deep conversations, but it was still fun to be able to answer their questions and help them get to know the program more.
I remember afterward, what really stuck out to me about the whole Q&A experience was this girl came up to me, this little girl, and she gave me this picture she was drawing, and I still have it. I keep it in my Bible because that experience was so amazing, and every time I see it, when I open my Bible, it reminds me of how much music impacts people. And I got to be the hands and feet of Jesus to her and encourage her and all the other kids that were there that they have a place in the church and they have a future there and they are the future of the church.
So one of my biggest highlights was probably our last set that we did, and everyone had their phones out and all the lights were off because the fireworks were about to go off. And it just looked like a whole bunch of stars out there. It just looked like you were in outer space. It was the coolest thing ever.
The last night, it felt like heaven. They had their lights out. They turned all the big lights out, and people had their flashlights out. And people were singing so loud, and you could just hear heaven singing with them. And it was like, I almost had to stop singing at one point because I think I was just too happy, and I was afraid I was gonna start crying, and everyone was singing super loud, and I could just feel the love and happiness, and I could feel the Holy Spirit and His presence there, and it felt like the angels in heaven was singing with us, and everyone was singing really loud, and it was so beautiful.